Okay, so let's talk about a really nasty scam that targets you right when you're most excited, planning a vacation. It's called the Ghost Travel Agent Scam, and it works by creating a digital ghost of real travel companies.
All right, picture this. You've spent hours, maybe even days, hunting for the best flights, the perfect hotel. You finally find something that looks like an incredible deal online, and you are so ready to click book. That excitement, that thrill of snagging a bargain, that is exactly what these scammers are banking on.
But hang on a second, because in that digital jungle, a very clever imposter might be lurking, just waiting to turn that dream trip into a total nightmare before you've even started packing.
So you're probably wondering, how do they actually pull this off? Let's peel back the curtain a little bit so you can learn how to spot these imposters from a mile away.
Well, their number one trick is imitation. I mean, these scammers are basically masters of mimicry. They build these websites that are pixel-perfect copies of the major airline or travel sites you already know, the ones you already trust. They'll use the same logos, the same colors, the same layout, everything.
And that's really the scary part, right? At first glance, you wouldn't suspect a thing. Everything feels completely legit from the flight search tool to the final checkout page. But here's the thing, there is always one tiny detail they just can't fake.
And this right here, this is where their whole scam just completely falls apart. Look really closely at the website addresses on this slide. The official site, it's simple, realairline.com. But the fake one? See how they added a hyphen and the word deals? They are counting on you being in a hurry and not noticing these little changes in the address bar.
And this gets to the absolute heart of it, the domain name. That main part of the address, like Real Airline in this example, it's like the website's fingerprint. It is its one true identity. Scammers can add words or hyphens all around it, but they can't copy that core domain name exactly. And that is your secret weapon.
So what happens if you miss that detail and you go ahead and pay? Well, the outcome is just heartbreaking. You'll get a confirmation email that looks totally real, but when you try to check in with the actual airline, they'll have no idea who you are. The tickets, the hotel, the whole booking, it was never real. And your money, it's just gone.
Okay, so how do you fight back against this? How can you book your next trip with total confidence? It all comes down to a super simple 3-step safety check that anyone can do. Let's walk through it right now.
First up, and this is a big one, try to book directly. So instead of clicking on some ad you saw in a search engine, which, let's be honest, could lead you anywhere, just type the official website address in yourself or use a bookmark you trust. Second, and this is the most important one, always check the spelling in the address bar. Look for those sneaky extra words or hyphens before you even think about pulling out your credit card. And third, just be a little suspicious of deals that seem way too good to be true. If a flight is 50% cheaper than it is everywhere else, you gotta ask yourself why. It's almost always a trap.
Now, of all those tips, there's one that truly stands above the rest. It takes like 1 second, but I'm telling you, it is the most important action you can take to protect yourself.
Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, I always look for that little padlock icon in the address bar. Isn't that enough? And here is a critical insight. That lock icon, by itself, is not enough to prove a site is legit.
You see, here's the thing people get wrong all the time. All that little lock means is that your connection to the website is encrypted and private. A scammer can easily set up a fake site that also has an encrypted connection. So yeah, it protects your data while it's in transit, but it says absolutely nothing about whether the person on the other end is a real airline or a thief.
So what's the bottom line here? It's that your own eyes are your best defense. Forget about the lock for a moment and just focus on the words. Read the domain name. That 1 second of careful reading is the firewall that stands between you and a ghost agent. It is the single action that saves your money, your data, and your vacation.
So as you get ready to plan that next big adventure, I'll just leave you with this one thought. What's the one simple check you are now going to make every single time before you hit that buy button?